this is my review of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. It's a quick live review. It's nothing in depth because a lot of the reviews, we know where the strong points in this game and where it falls short. And I'm going to talk more about what I think should improve for the next game, which is probably going to be Underground. And I really hope that Underground focuses on the created skater because, I get why they didn't put much afterthought into the creative skater here. It's basically the same exact, um, it's the same exact system as the first remake of 1 and 2. So even the UI is very similar. It's like it's hard to tell the games, which was cool because they should be all in one package. But I think over here, like when you focus on the next game, Underground was all about you as the player and not focused around all the pros. And so like this is really focused around the pros. You get the solo tour. I really like that. I really in Underground you get off your board and it changes the dynamic of the game. And I don't know if you remember when you played multiplayer on Thug, especially Thug 1 and 2, there was like lobbies, and we could host our created park. Here, it's very hard to link up with people and host our own games and stuff like without having Discord and stuff. And I think that we should really integrate that into the next Tony Hawk game, especially if it's Thug 1 and 2 remake. I think Thug remake by its own is in depth enough because they both have a lot of cutscenes and stuff. I don't know how that's going to be implemented, but I think you guys should do it. Just do Thug and see how it is. But here it's a lot more alive than the first. Like I don't know what you guys did at the end of the development of 3 and 4. You went on to 1 and 2 servers, and I know it used to be Vicarious Visions, but I mean Activision's probably in charge really of all that. So this is very bare bones. It's even more bare bones, I feel like, than the first one. It's not as buggy, which is nice, but it's not really, user friendly. It's not. It's just there and it works, and that's it. I think like we should have like fully cut like customizable like in Thaw or Thug skaters. We should um have lobbies so we can host created parks, and then like fill them up with 16 skaters, and then the host controls the the games or whatever, kind of like Fortnite or the old Thug or even like Gran Turismo. You have different tracks. The host can control when the race starts. It's not that hard, really. It's just like you guys could update this game and do it, which I think you should. The creative park needs to be a lot more options. I mean, it's cool. There's a lot of freedom, and I see people making like amazing, like the Simpsons house or the Simpsons kitchen, and it looks awesome, but it's not really a practical level. Like I don't know. I think getting off your board changed the whole game, and I think like Tony's right. Like we should really make that at least just try with Thug. If you never do Thug 2 or American Wasteland, or just do Thug and do like a DLC with the part 2, if it goes good, you don't even have to announce that. It could be like a surprise. And then do Thaw, because like I feel like a lot of people, that's their favorite game, really low key. And at the time, I think like people didn't want to move on from Thug, but Thaw really had great maps. Um, and then after that, you just make a completely new, like make like Thug 3, like Tony Hawk's Underground 3. I think that game will be the best selling Tony Hawk game of all time, but you have to do the remakes, and I think you have to do like Thaw right before, like a year or two before you start finishing up, you know, Tony Hawk's Underground 3. But yeah, like for this game, the only glitches I noticed, um, like some of the notifications, like here, like this will always have a notification, and I can't get rid of it. Like even having a button to clear all notifications would be nice, so that because you can't decrease the stats, but he wants 50 more points. Like what's going on there? That's a very minor glitch that obviously, yeah, like probably like 20% of people will realize right at this point because they did all the goals. But as this game gets older, people are gonna just notice little things like that. And, just these little things makes the game look rushed and like not fully tested. Um, yeah, we just need a more user friendly multiplayer because that's really why people want to play Tony Hawk. They don't want to play it for like they want to see who can get the highest score online, and they want to show off their tracks, and it's like it's all like single player. It's like for loners, and multiplayer is to have groups. Like it's cool going through all the creative parks and like looking at all this amazing stuff. And I'm lucky because one of my parks did all right, like 360 likes, 3,000 plays. But like some of these people, like the Simpsons Kitchen, man, is insane. I want to see how he made that, but it's like, is it really practical? Who knows? It's just like, look at this. It's just so boring. The colors, and it's like, it's very game devy. Like the people that play this game are not game devs. They're just people that want to play like an arcade style kind of game. Almost, it's that like this is like the backbone to what it could be. The creative part. Because like, look at these textures, and it's just like if this is how people are using it, build on that and make like build on how they're manipulating your creative part stuff and like make it more customizable, more options, more freedoms. Um, it's just glitchy. I'm grinding on the floor, like what? But obviously, this person, I don't know what they did. Like I can grind on the wall. My wall rat start grinding on that. I don't know what they did to make these pictures, but it really does look like the Simpsons kitchen. Look at there's a TV. I don't know if it makes sense, and the couch is over there. No, that's not a couch. Man, if they had the couch, that would be awesome. But it's just like they tried their best. It really does look like the Simpsons, though. But yeah, this game is great. I'd give it a 9 out of 10, just because the multiplayer is the main reason why I want to play, and just going through jams and not being able to choose and not having any like way to really link up with people easily and show off our creative parts or like build like a online community easily. I think those things will increase the revenue too. The more people playing the game, you know, the more people are going to buy it. If everyone's having fun playing this Tony Hawk instead of a modded version on their gaming PC, trying to play a 20-old modded version of Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, like that's what we have to turn the multiplayer into here, because people will pay for the game just because it's $50 and they don't have to like rig their gaming setup just to play a modded version of a game, that's like 20 years old almost. So, I mean, that's just my honest opinion, guys. Like, I'm a game developer too, so like I have experience in Unreal and stuff, and this is really great. I like this post processing. I think it's still on. I can't tell, but yeah, it is. 'Cause, okay, it just looks a little more cartoony. But I say keep all this game devy stuff in it too. I'm not saying like that's bad, but it's like let's build onto it too. Like it's good to have all those mods and just like other developers, other gamers or computer scientists can figure out stuff, but we have to remember when we make games that we also have to make it so that the user experience isn't for someone that understands computers, someone that can be 80 years old and they never played a PlayStation before and they pick up a controller and they're able to figure out how to 100% the game, how to easily get on multiplayer, make it, yeah, it's like you really have to like put yourself out of your own shoes because we think this is all common sense, but it's not. Let's try this one. Some of these are hard to tell, but I think the cell shade is probably the best one. Let's try the underwater. Oh my God, that's so cool. I like that. It's like SpongeBob, dude. This is just like what you guys used in that SpongeBob cameo. It would have been cool if you had SpongeBob as a character, like or some like a like a person in a SpongeBob costume or something. That'd be fire. But thank you guys. That's my review. 9 out of 10. I hope that I see those changes in the. Yeah, if you could update this game to do that, would be awesome. Even the first one too, that'd be wild. But people are playing games like I think these games will be able to be played forever because they're good enough. Like when you if you could do all that, you wouldn't even need to worry about trying to find old games. And that's it for my review. Have a good day.